Ann?
I can hear you.
Awesome. Thank you for coming. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my Zoom launch for my new book, You Are the Sheriff of Me-Town, where you have all the power. This has been a lifelong dream, writing this book. It's been a process of years, decades. I'll never forget one of my clients years ago, and I said, I wish I could hand you my book. I wish I could just hand it to you. And she said, so hand it to me. And I said, well, it's not finished and I haven't quite, I haven't been really motivated. She looked at me and she said, write it for me. Write it for me. And that has made me juiced up all through these years. Even when I went to a seminar and I met a gentleman, he had like 20 books for sale all over the place. And we took a break and I said, can I talk to you for a minute about my book? And he said, sure, what's the name of your book? And I said, my best advice, make wise choices. And he looked at me and he said, is your name Oprah? Who are you? You're a nobody. Let's talk. So he gave me 60 minutes of his time, lots of great advice about how to make it real, how to weave in the messages that I've been giving to my clients for years and years and years and years. And so, I just want to thank you all for being here, for joining me. I am so excited. What we're going to do is I'm going to read a little bit from the book. We're going to do the power badge. First thing I'm going to do is put my badge on to remind myself that I am sheriff of Me-Town all the time, just like you are, all the time. You always have the power to decide, to change your mind, to say nobody can take me away from me. That's why I wrote the book, to remind you of your strength, to remind you of, Me-Town is right between your ears. Every moment we have another choice, another opportunity to say, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. I'm strong enough and I'm ready. And I've been practicing, my power badge, building my strength in all my different ways. I'm ready. I'm always ready. So let's go ahead and I'll read you part of the introduction. And my book, I still don't have my book either currently. This is what my book still looks like. Yes, yes, yes. Labor of Love. My publisher, she kept saying to me, you need to add some more personal stories. That's how I spent my summer this year, was adding personal stories, which totally goes against the grain of what a counselor is supposed to do. It's not supposed to be about me. It's supposed to be about my client or who I'm consulting with or who I'm helping. I don't tell a story. She said, you need to write some personal stories. A lady on the airplane told me that too. I told her about my book. She said, well, what does it say about you in the book? I said, well, not much. So this summer, I kept remembering all these stories of all these clients who helped me become a better counselor, who helped me become a better sheriff, a better person. So let me go ahead and read some of the intro. I'm so excited for you to read the book, everybody. I'm so excited. Be sure to tell me what you think. Okay. Introduction. How did a scrappy little girl from St. Louis, Missouri, growing up in Afton, and all my old high school friends are going to appreciate that, how I mentioned Afton, a suburb located in South St. Louis County, how did this little girl end up writing this book for you? It is simple. I want to help you become stronger and know with every cell of your body and soul that no one is in charge of you except you. I considered titling the book Becoming Stronger, but I did not want you to think this was a workout book for your body. I also considered titling the book You Are What You Think. But as an individual, you are so much more complex than that. The mindfulness movement is trending right now, and I didn't want you to think this was a book about just getting your mind right, so others cannot ensnare and tangle you in their drama and manipulation, although that is addressed within these pages. You Are the Sheriff of Meatown was more fitting because it embodied my love for Westerns and combined my life's story for fighting for the voiceless and equipping them with the tools needed to find their voice and stand in their power. You know, when I was a kid and I walked into the bathroom and some girl was surrounded by a bunch of bullies, not on my watch. It was just in my nature to say, everybody out, everybody out. And so, because somebody's going to get hurt and it's not going to be her. It's always been in my nature to help people find their voice and remember how powerful you are every second of every day. And we all forget, we get fatigued, we get hungry, we get thirsty, we get crabby, whatever. And we forget that we're constantly reinventing each other, ourselves as we go along. Jason, do we have any questions yet? Not at the moment. Okay. Go ahead and chat, ask me a question, do whatever you would like. As I begin to read, Respecting Change as a Constant. Yeah, okay. Respecting Change as a Constant. And the book is full of what I hope you will believe and say to yourself, I haven't thought about that in a while. I haven't thought about that. So I'm hoping this is going to kind of also wake you up to think about things in new ways. Oh, I also wanted to mention my wonderful in-laws, I actually consider them my parents, gave me this Meatown scarf and emblem 2 years ago to inspire me. So thanks, Jim and Sherry. You guys are the best. Respecting change as a constant. You need to make friends with change, Sheriff. Much of your power to lead yourself and others comes from your ability and willingness to adjust, adapt, reshape, redesign, transform, and evolve as a person. This takes willingness and it also takes practice. What gets in the way is that delusion we all have that we can actually predict what is going to happen. We cannot do that. If change is our friend, we can run towards it instead of away from it. We will develop the power that is often called bravery. You can find your nerve. You can find your nerve and just do it. Go ahead and jump. You boldly confront what is different for you and march towards taking the risk that to be different from who you were before means you have the opportunity to be better and to be stronger. You will grow your courage and have the backbone of a sheriff. And I want you to know from this day forward, you are always the sheriff of Meatown. You are always in charge. That never stops, never. One of the reasons I've always respected my clients whom I counseled is they all had this in common. They all had the guts to make changes for themselves so that they could find peace and love and contentment and resolve issues and move forward to feeling powerful. Because they embraced changing themselves, they were reminded that they could do it again and again and again. It does take a powerful sheriff to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I can change. I want to change, and I will change. So encouraging words for you there about change. Do we get a question?
I think you hit the nail on the head.
Oh, Natalie from St. Louis and Fenton. Awesome. Excellent. I'm misery bred and misery born. Actually, it's misery born and misery bred. And when I die, I'll be misery dead. Because it's rah-rah misery, rah-rah misery, that dear old state of mind. Thank you, Natalie. I can see you laughing your head off. Thank you. You know, it's in the blood. Although living in Santa Fe, I'm not leaving. I'm not going. I love it here. There, you know, the people, the variety of people, the land of manana, there's a sense of acceptance here about life is good. Life is good. And, you know, if you're hungry, have some enchiladas. I mean, it's just so practical. It just makes so much sense. All right. Shall we do the power badge?
I just wanted to say I liked what you had to say in your book, Dr. Julia, about the willingness part. I think that's what's missing a lot for people.
Here it is. Okay, in the book, you will have a power badge. And what's really cool about it is it talks about the different components of power that we have. Mental is at the top. It gets top billing because it is the only thing we have control over is what we think, period, dot. 50,000 thoughts a day. Are you focused? Do you know what you're thinking? Have you meditated lately and actually listened to your thoughts? Because we have a tendency to say the same thing over and over and over again. So if you take the time to be quiet and listen to yourself, you'll say, oh, okay, apparently this is still bothering me because I keep thinking about it. So mentally, how focused are you? How are you doing push-ups for your brain? How many books have you read so far this year? Tomorrow's the 1st of February. How many books have you read so far? Magazines. When was the last time you read an issue of Scientific American? You know, if you really want to see if you're a smarty pants, open that magazine. Okay. How often do you engage in intellectually stimulating conversations with other people that open your mind up to new paradigms and new ways of thinking about yourself, other people, and the rest of the world? It is important because your feelings come from what you believe. And you can believe whatever you want. You are free. You are free. And it's important to think to yourself, what keeps getting me into trouble? You know, what do I keep thinking about myself? Or what do I keep thinking about other people? Or what do I keep thinking about the rest of the world that brings me down? You know, that makes me feel anxious, that makes me feel worried. And there's nothing wrong with worry, but we'll talk about that when we get too emotional. So mentally, how are you doing push-ups for your brain? How are you thinking about things in new ways and approaching your world with an open mind, where you're willing to think about something in a completely different way? All right. It's refreshing. Physical wellness. Okay, this is about certainly exercising. And, you know, if you can't run, you can always do isometric exercises. Move your neck around, move your face around. We forget that we can exercise our faces, and we're supposed to, like this. Yeah. It's like, so you can show your emotions, you know, so that, you know, you don't look rigid. So your face needs to be exercised as well. What are you putting into your mouth? Are you taking medicine as prescribed? are if you drink alcohol, do you do that in moderation? You know, a nice healthy Manhattan, you know, and never drive after you drink. We all know that. A nice healthy Manhattan, you know, before dinner is a lot different than a fifth of Jack before bedtime, right? So you don't want to overdo. Speaking of drinking, how much water have you been drinking? You know, when I was working for the city, I was part of the water club, and I would go upstairs and I would fill up my big tumbler, 32 ounces every morning, and fill up my 32-ounce tumbler in the afternoon and drink and drink and drink. And since I have not been in City Hall and in the water club, I do not drink enough water. I can tell. I can tell. And sometimes instead of hydrating myself, I'll think to myself, oh, I need a snack. And I'll have something to eat instead of something to drink.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what are you putting in your mouth? Food is medicine. Enjoy, enjoy. Spiritual strength.
Can't see it.
You know, you can be very spiritual and you don't have to be a theist. You can think to yourself, what is my purpose here on earth? When I interact and I talk to other people, am I fully present? Is this the most important conversation I have ever had? Do you bring love to your relationships? I believe personally, these are all spiritual practices. Do you show kindness to strangers? It's easy to be kind to somebody who's really, you know, nice looking and charming, and they have a great sense of humor, and they're a wonderful storyteller, and it's so easy to be charming with those people. How are you with people who, you know, maybe they're not so interesting, or they're disheveled, and they don't smell very good, and they're near you in the grocery store, and they just can't quite reach what they need on the top shelf? Are you charming with them and say, may I help you? Can I get that for you? Okay. So if you are a theist, have you been attending mosque? Have you been going to temple? Have you been going to church? Do you pray? Do you meditate? Do you reflect? Do you think to yourself, if I die tomorrow, can I say to myself, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. You know, these are all spiritual components that, you know, sometimes we don't take the time to think about. Social wellness. Who are your friends? Who do you hang out with? Do you hang out with people who make you laugh and support you in your dreams and give you the gift of encouragement? Or do you hang out with people who have a tendency to be kind of cynical, negative, make you self-doubt? Okay. Socially, how are you doing? If you're a loner, that's okay. Be a loner. Fantastic. That's all right. Know yourself enough to put boundaries down around. And when people are asking you to parties or events, it's okay to say, you know what, I am so sorry. I have another date and I'm busy. Isn't this cute? This sits on my desk now. It's my little alien friend. I am so sorry. I'm busy. Okay, that's fine. No worries. Socially, though, it's easier to be friendly and engaging when you are that way with yourself. How do you talk to yourself? What kind of a friend are you to you? All right. Do you give yourself compliments? Are you a supportive
My picture's not
person
on
in
here.
your life? Because there's really nobody who's going to give that to you except you when you decide you want it. So you really need to have a dependency on yourself. And yes, it's a time for a song, IT team. Hey, you're adorable. B, you're so beautiful. C, you're a cutie full of charm. D, you're a darling. And E, you're exciting. And F, you're a feather in my arms. G, you look good to me. H, you're so heavenly. I, you're the one I idolize. J, we're like Jack and Jill. K, you're so kissable. L, you're the love light in my eyes. M, N, O, P, I could go on all day. Q, R, S, T, alphabetically speaking, you're okay. You make my life complete. V, you're so very sweet. W, X, Y, Z. It's fun to wander through the alphabet with you and tell you much you mean to me. Let's tell you what you mean to me. Thank you. That is what you should be singing to yourself every single day. A, you are adorable. And B, you are beautiful. Watch that negative self-talk. Watch it. Stop it. Stop sign. That's how you stop a negative thought. You imagine a stop sign in your head, like you're rolling up in your vehicle. Stop sign. That's enough of that. I don't have time for that. That is cynical and negative, and it's making me, I'm making myself self-doubt. It's not cool. So you shouldn't hang out with people who make you self-doubt, and that includes you, Sheriff. That includes you. Sexual strength. You know, we're sexual from the minute we open our eyes up in the morning until we go to sleep at night. We are sexual human beings, and we're supposed to enjoy that and wear that, you know, with pride, you know, over your heart. It's something to celebrate. And that being said, we're still responsible for putting down boundaries if someone starts to get a little bit too close to our sexual being, and we think to ourselves, danger stranger, danger stranger, danger stranger. You know, it's wonderful to celebrate your sexuality, and it also does need to be protected to some extent. One of my favorite expressions is sex is perfect with the perfect person. There you go. You heard it from me. Gerard, we should put that on a t-shirt. I see you. Emotional strength. Do you feel your feelings? Do you know how many clients I've had who have said to me, Julia, I can't feel anything anymore. I've shut down, and I can't feel anything. I don't know what I feel. And you know, that's alarming because it's because of our feelings that we feel passion for life. And there's basically 4 major emotions. It's not complicated. Okay, we feel fear. It's okay to feel fear. Fear can keep you alive. If you feel fear, it means that someone is trying to hurt you, emotionally, verbally, physically, whatever it is, and your adrenaline needs to kick in, and you need to be ready to go. And fear is different than anxiety. Okay, anxiety is where you think a giant dragon has appeared and they're going to hurt you. There's no dragon. That's you just went into imagination station. You went to the past or you went to the future, but you're not here right now, because if you were here right now, there's nothing to be anxious about. Everything's a-okay. Cool, calm, and collected. The 3 C's. So it's all good. Anger, it's okay to feel angry. When you feel angry, something needs to change. Does that mean you're allowed to go ahead and have a tantrum, or, you know, throw something across the room with drama? Or no. Use your anger to change something. To either say to somebody, stop talking, to assert yourself. It means, you know, you're so angry, you might need to go and figure out what was triggered in you. What was triggered? What's happening? So you might have to, you know, it might be an immediate, require an immediate response. You might want to cool off, because once you say something out loud, you could never take it back. And everybody watching, everyone on the planet knows when you are in relationship, if you say something out loud and you can't take it back, I promise you, the other person is never going to forget it. Joy. The average child laughs 600 times a day. The average adult laughs about 20, although, you know, I like to laugh more than 20 times a day, but this is typically. And what happens to us, our spontaneous ability to just find hilarity in the moment. Life is so funny, you know, and it's good that you're the adults in the room. I'm glad. I want you to be. I want you to be brave and mature and strong, but you got to lighten up too. You know, you need to be able to laugh with people that you want to laugh with. And then last but not least is sadness. We all get the blues. We all feel sad. We all, you know, some days we just don't have much pep. It's all right. Sad song comes on the radio, or a song comes on the radio that reminds you of back then. Okay, you're human, you know, go with the flow, go with the feeling. Say to yourself, wow, I'm so glad I am a human being. I'm so glad I do have feelings. Thank you. I'm going to have gratitude for that. So there's your power badge. It's in the book. And unless we have any more questions, any questions or comments, IT? No, everybody is just being so like in tune with what's going on with me. I appreciate that. You can always send me an email, julia@metown.com. Shoot me an email. I'm looking forward to your impressions of the book. I cannot wait to hear what you think. I cannot wait. I put my heart, my soul into it. And because of my publisher, I did not leave one thing out. I added 40 pages this summer and fall. Actually, the heat of my office, it was like a sweat lodge, you know, it just brought back memories. I was sitting there just like covered with sweat. And then I would think to myself, oh yeah, I remember that guy at the State Mental Hospital. Yeah, I should write about that story. And I did. So go to Amazon, get the book, Kindle, paperback, give me 5 stars. That would be appreciated. Any comments, any kind of feedback that you can give me, people read that. It matters. And if you go on your platforms with whether it's Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is you like to do, please don't forget about me. Spread the good word and keep enjoying your lives. We're just here for the blink of an eye, just for a minute. And I wrote this book so that you would enjoy your life as much as you possibly can, and so that you would know that you're never alone, and that what you feel and what happens to you and your perceptions and values and interpretations, we all struggle. We're all a work in progress. We're all doing our best here. And I wish you the best of luck. Keep in touch. 1 minute, one question, one moment. Well, then it's time to sing the Metown song. How does it start? Smile for me, that's it. Oh, won't you smile for me, please do. When there's a smile from you, everything is beautiful and everything is new. That is the Metown song. I'm gonna have Jason like do a little thing across the words for you on my YouTube so that everybody can learn the words. Smile for me in Metown. Welcome home to Metown, and thank you so much for coming. Blessings. Love you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Should I do my applause meter?
Fun guy.
You guys are the best. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations.
This is Margot. I just wanted to
Bye,
ask.
everybody. Bye. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Hi, good to see you guys. Love you guys. Miss you all. Miss you so much. Bye.